Good morning. My name is Dr. Beverly Law. I'm Professor of Global Change Biology and Terrestrial Systems Sciences at Oregon State University. I have been researching climate impacts on forests, the role of forests in absorbing carbon emissions, and land use strategies to increase forest carbon uptake that can also enhance biodiversity and water availability. I've been co-author on the National Climate Assessment, served on the IPCC expert panels, and I'm a fellow of the American Geophysical Union. The climate crisis is accelerating faster than most scientists expected. I signed the climate emergency letter because I've spent decades researching and teaching on this topic, while climate and land use impacts on ecosystems continued to multiply. 40 years ago, climate change trends were recognized as needing urgent action, and yet we haven't done enough to alter the greenhouse gas emissions trajectories that we're on. It's even more urgent now. Oregon is very strong in a piece of the climate solutions. Forests in the Pacific Northwest contain some of the highest living carbon per acre in the world. They are valuable for keeping carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and for protecting watersheds and biodiversity. The well-being of people, forests, and wildlife are all interconnected. Oregonians depend heavily on forests for water supplies, such as the Bull Run watershed that serves Portland. We also depend on them for recreation, food, and fiber. And when forests burn, they affect us too, as Oregonians experienced recently when smoke from fires across the region inundated communities. More forests need to be protected to curb climate change and to protect biological diversity and water supplies that we all depend on. As noted in the scientist's letter, we need to curtail habitat and biodiversity loss, protect primary and intact forests and forests with high carbon storage potential, while increasing reforestation and afforestation where it's appropriate. And we need to reduce fossil fuel emissions. And that's why Oregon needs to step up on climate action. We don't have time to waste. We need lawmakers to unite behind the science and pass legislation in 2020 that will set a strong cap for greenhouse gas emissions, invest in a clean energy transition, create incentives to preserve forests for their carbon storage, and support communities in adapting to climate change.